Frasier is one of the greatest comedy shows ever made, in my opinion. Kelsey Grammer first made a name for himself in the TV show Cheers, playing Frasier Crane. He then went on to star in the spin-off Frasier, which lasted for 11 seasons, which is quite a lot. Cheers had the same amount. Both shows are fantastic, but I think Frasier started to lose its steam later on because certain plot points felt a little stretched out, and then, once they pulled the trigger, they had little else to do or explore for certain characters. Anyway, it was still very good. Now, almost 20 years after the end of Frasier, we are finally getting yet another spin-off, focusing on Frasier again. It's untitled at this minute, but his name has to be in it somewhere, doesn't it? Like Frasier Returns, maybe? Kelsey Grammer is returning. He'll once again play Frasier Crane, and that's good. He's good in the role, and I feel like ever since Frasier ended, he's kinda struggled to stick with a role. He showed up in a Transformers movie and an X-Men movies. He then repeatedly tried to find a hit TV show, and nothing really hit the mark. Maya, I think it was called, was probably his most significant TV role since then, and that lasted 2 seasons, I think. This leads me to question and wonder about the appeal of Kelsey Grammer. Do people like him? Can he bring back that Frasier magic? He's been playing a lot of serious, more villainous roles ever since Frasier. Can he slide back into the more fun and friendly, albeit snobby Frasier? I've always thought he was a good actor, so I assume so. I hope so. The news about the spin-off though does have me worried a bit. Firstly, we know that Nicholas Lyndhurst has been cast in it. If you're not from the UK, that name might not mean much to you, but he's basically a comedy legend here in the UK. Famous for playing Rodney Trotter in Only Fools and Horses, one of the greatest, albeit overplayed sitcoms ever made. He's a good actor, but he'll always be Rodney. He was also in a show called Goodnight Sweetheart, which had its fans, but I'm not among them. I always found that show to be a little dull, if I'm honest. So, he's in the Frasier spin-off. He's the first character cast and he's a significant name, at least here. That means he's playing a significant role. The new double act perhaps. I say perhaps because we also know that David Hyde Pierce, who played Niles in Frasier, is not returning for the spin-off. This news sucks, because Niles and David's portrayal of him were fantastic. He was often the best thing about Frasier, and it'll be odd to see Frasier going about business without him behind them, or beside him. Of course, Niles wasn't in Cheers, so Frasier has done without him before. But back then, Frasier was a bit more serious and grounded as a character. Are we going back to that? So, should we expect Nicholas Lyndhurst to become the new Niles? Do we want that? I like Nicholas Lyndhurst, he's a fine actor, but I struggle to see it. On top of all this spin-off is being made and written by new people not involved in Cheers or Frasier. That's worrying because both of them were so good. But maybe it's a good thing that there's new writers. Maybe we need new perspectives and new style of comedy for this show. Will this spin-off be filmed like a classic sitcom? Will it have a laugh track? Comedy shows have moved on from that style. It might be weird to see a modern comedy show revert back to it. But maybe it makes sense for Frasier. Anyway, I'm very curious about this spin-off to Frasier, but overall very apprehensive about it as well. I don't think it can capture the magic of Cheers or Frasier, and I worry it might mark the end for what was such an iconic character. I could be wrong though, and I really hope I am. Let me know what you think in the comments down below and post your Let's Talk topics too. I'll get to them as soon as I can. And of course, subscribe and follow me on Twitter @the_Grant Burton. Until next time, thanks for watching.